Namaste and welcome. Today I'd like to continue our discussion on the study and practice of the sandhyavandanam, the daily spiritual practice of the Hindus. And this is part two of this series. So if you haven't watched part one, I encourage you to do that. So in this video, I thought I'd like to expand a little bit on what is the motivation behind organizing these online sessions of the Sandhyavandanam in a group format, led by someone from a team of qualified instructors, and also to outline why the Sandhyavandanam, why this particular practice, and talk a little bit more about that. So, from speaking to and guiding many aspirants locally here in the community, it has become clear that there are many of us in the Hindu faith um, who are unsure as to how to commence our um, practice, how to practice our faith. Is it adequate to go to the temple? How does one engage with the sacred texts? Should one study the Upanishads? Should one study the Bhagavad Gita? Or should one just do pujas? And of course, another impediment here is that most of these texts are in the Sanskrit language, with which many are unfamiliar. At the same time, there is an inclination among everyone to do something about this. And here, what we're trying to do is to begin this group practice of the Sandhya. I'll use that as a short form for the Sandhyavandanam, as a portal to a deeper understanding of all the things that I mentioned before. So, through this, one will come to a deeper understanding of the Veda and the Vedanta, the deeper philosophy. We will understand the various paths through yoga, the Bhagavad Gita, the study of the Upanishads, the Jnana Marg, the Yoga Marg, and the Bhakti Marg, and also the Karma Marg, which is really properly the Sandhyavandanam being a Nitya Karma, is a lovely introduction to that as well. Now, I'd like to also describe some of the benefits of the Sandhyavandanam, and also who should practice and who is going to benefit. The prerequisite for starting the Sandhya practice is really a deep and firm conviction that this practice and Hinduism as a whole will benefit the individual, and that would also give great benefit to those around the individual. If that deep conviction is there, then certainly one can embark on these practices. The only persons who I think I humbly request not to practice are those who may be wanting to learn about these with some ulterior motive to either denigrate or defame Hinduism and the Vedas. And in any case, since all this is out in the public domain, so to speak, that um, probability is rather low. So, weighing the overall benefits to everyone, I think it is appropriate that we can now discuss these things in an open forum. Now, apart from the qualifications, the next step that we would like to see is what are the benefits. So, first of all, from a physical standpoint, the very act of performing this sandhya at the appropriate time confers a great benefit. It regularizes our sleep schedule, and in addition to that, the Sandhyavandanam prayer operates at many different levels, just beyond the physical. But nevertheless, you will already see some benefit in your health, although I should warn you that obviously it is not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any disease. for which you should consult a doctor. The second level at which benefits are observed is what is called the energetic, or properly said, the pranic level. Now, just as there is a sun and moon that we observe in the external world, there is also a sun and moon inside the human body. And the alignment and prayer with the macrocosm of the microcosm yields significant benefits. There are also benefits at the mental level. So, if one is interested in developing certain skills such as writing or music or speaking, um, then definitely the Sandhyavandanam practice is going to improve your focus, and it's also going to awaken these energies that will come out in creative form in a most beautiful way. It also has an excellent benefit in terms of helping us with mental illnesses as well. So, on a very mild sense, we know that anger and anger management is something that many people confront. The Sandhyavandanam is an excellent tool to even counter these kinds of issues. Depression and mental illness are something we hear a lot about these days, particularly in our youth. And the Sandhya practice can definitely help by replacing these depressive thoughts with enthusiasm. Again, of course, this is not intended to cure any mental illness which requires proper medical attention, but it can definitely move people who are already healthy but suffering slightly from these onto a much better path. The other aspect in which it can help is when we think about addictions, and if we want to relieve ourselves of certain bad habits and cultivate a good habit, then again the Sandhya practice is very good. Overall, this increases our enjoyment of life, and on the intellectual level, it can also provide us with a lot of benefit in our work and career. I believe it has benefits on the emotional side of our life, helping us with relationships, improving our family life, etc. But of course, the most important benefit that it confers is a spiritual benefit. And one may argue that, in fact, it is the spiritual benefit whose reflection we see in all these other planes as other benefits. But nevertheless, um, people are motivated by different things. Some seek a relief of their distress. Some are interested in the acquisition of wealth, either material or spiritual, and both are definitely to be obtained through the Sandhya practice. And finally, of course, those who are desirous of knowledge, and knowledge both in the mundane sense, but also in the paravidya, or that knowledge which goes beyond the names and forms. All these aspirants will benefit through the Sandhya. So, with that, I again invite you to join these online sessions. Details will be available at the end of this video. There will be an email contact as well as a form that you can fill out, and also information on how to join the online meetings, which will be on Sundays. And with that, I take your leave. Namaste. Thank you.